Well, I really didn't want to be here today. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to say, I told you so. Well, okay, who am I kidding? Of course I do. I told you so. Look, I just came on a few weeks ago to do a solid for the community. I wanted you all to know, hey, don't splurge on these PS5 Slim covers, especially these new metallic ones, thinking they are going to work with your PS5 Pro. I gave you evidence. I showed you where Sony of Japan put out a notice, a graphic showing they were incompatible. I showed you a electronics boutique in Australia telling customers they are not compatible with the Pro. I showed you screenshots of text messages and communications with Sony PlayStation support saying they will not fit because the way the ventilation has been reimagined. But still, you did not believe me. You blew up the comments telling me how I was wrong, how I'm crazy, I'm nuts for thinking these won't fit, while they will clearly fit from the image just by looking at the plates on one and the plates on the other and how they look to be the exact same size. Clearly, they're going to fit despite what you're telling us with all your evidence. Well, now we have it. That's right, folks. From Zorro on the PlayStation subreddit. I don't know if you've noticed, but the PS5 Pros are now showing up at retailers. Of course, these aren't set to go live until next week, but retailers now have them in stock for customer pickups. And one of these retail employees, again, Zorro on the PS5 PlayStation subreddit, got to open up one of these PlayStation 5s and he thought ahead and he brought some PS5 cobalt blue slim plates with him. And wow, what do we know? We now have confirmation that the plates, the covers for the PS5 Slim do not fit the PS5 Pro. Yes, the bottom plates, they do. These we kind of told you about, that the back plate definitely fits because you can use the same one that comes with the external disk drive on your PS5 Pro Digital Edition to add that drive. And on the front side, we now have confirmation that the front lower plate does indeed fit. But the problem is the larger upper plates. They do not fit at the top. They are, and I guess that, even the bottom ones are probably a little bigger. So I said the taller upper plates, but what I mean is the upper plates at the top. And what we see in these images from Zorro is that the mount points are in different places. Again, PlayStation 5 support told us weeks ago that due to the ventilation of the more powerful system, the old plates could not be used. And now we know that they had to relocate the attachment points to make use of that cooling and ventilation to keep the PS5 Pro from overheating. And not much more to show. We've got some pictures here for you to take a look at, so you don't have to take my word for it. Again, even though last time I gave you evidence and you still didn't believe me, of course, others did listen. Others did chime up and say, hey, thanks. I'm going to hold off just to be sure and see what happens. Well, now we know. And for those of you that held off, congratulations. You didn't waste the money on a PS5 Slim plate or cover only to find out later it didn't fit. So we really appreciate you. And I'm glad we were able to hopefully help you avoid losing some money. For those of you that did not believe us and continue to insist we're wrong, despite the evidence we shared with you, I hope that we can agree that despite that, hey, now we know they don't work. And it's unfortunate. I don't take pleasure in the fact that they don't work. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they don't work. Sony is clearly going for a money grab, in my opinion. This is typical. Some of these companies, of course, Apple is the biggest abuser of this, doing ridiculous things like periodically changing their port configuration, not to add any value, but to force you to buy new accessories. And this is the kind of thing that Sony is doing here. Here we have a system in the same generation, now the third different SKU in this generation, with the original PS5, the PS5 Slim, and now the Pro, and all three take different plates. Just absolutely ridiculous. We can confirm that the plates for the PS5 Pro, as suspected, are 100% the same size, the same curvature, the same measurements, everything. Unfortunately, the mount points have been moved, rendering the PS5 Slim covers on the top half moot. So yeah, if you really want to just maybe decorate the bottom half of your PlayStation 5 Pro, you can use the PS5 Slim plates. But if you're looking at that top and you want a cohesive system, unfortunately, you're gonna have to buy another plate when they come out. Theoretically, maybe you cut off the mount points and try to super glue them or epoxy them to the correct locations and see if they will fit. I mean, you might be able to modify them and make that happen, but then it now won't fit on your PS5 Slims either. So, and who knows how sturdy and how well they'll stay on there. But now you know. So hopefully you have time to return the ones you bought, hoping they would fit on your PlayStation 5 Pro. All I was doing, seriously, all I was doing, I wasn't trying to rain on your parade. I wasn't trying to tell you that the PS5 Pro sucks or Sony sucks. I was just trying to give you a heads up so that you wouldn't rush out and buy one of these new PS5 Slim plates that actually look great. These metallic colors are very nice, only to find out later they don't work with your new PS5 Pro. So I'm glad we could put this issue to bed. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you coming back for these videos and others. I really do. And I hope you will smash that like button. Drop us a comment in below. What do you think of Sony's efforts to change how these plates fit? Do you think it truly was just a technical limitation and they had no other choice? Or do you feel Sony did this as a pure money grab? I know where I sit. I think it's probably a little of both, being the tech gave them a convenient excuse to move the ports and charge more, rather than re-engineering the cooling system to make those plates work. But who knows? I can also see why people might be upset that Sony didn't just come right out and say that in the US, that these do not work, that they were so tight-lipped about it. Fortunately, they weren't as tight-lipped in other countries. They were forthcoming, so chalk that up to what you want to make of it. But here in the US, they clearly knew and chose not to disclose. That to me is a big problem. Who knows how many people were deceived by this? In the meantime, our PS5 Pros are almost here. I hope you're hyped. I hope you're ready. Of course, if you got your pre-order in at PlayStation Direct, over the last few days, you've probably got your billing notice. These are going to ship at any moment and arrive on release day at your home, which is very cool. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Do it or I'll delete your high scores. And until next time, have fun.